Unique growth opportunities. Instead, we use flawed information to reinforce our existing perceptions rather than exploring how customers tick. So how do we come to terms with our polarized mentalities and our voracious need for unwavering certainty? It starts with becoming more cognizant of our own misconceptions about customer needs, perceptions, and human behavior. Distorted thinking. Brand research routinely claims that people who are aware of communications from brand X are more likely to buy that brand. This is frequently used as evidence to validate the idea that communication drives sales. However, the causality runs the other way. Buying brand X makes you more likely to notice its communications. People notice and remember the brands they know well and like. Recognition is the effect, not the cause. Even though this misconception has been well known for decades, it's still used to justify communication effectiveness. The Rosser-Reeves fallacy, named after the famous 1950s ad man. It isn't unique, as our thinking can become distorted when we fixate on what's measurable rather than what's useful. This includes giving superficial data precedence over deep insights. For instance, suppose a customer unsubscribes from a mailing list. Typically, they're asked to answer a single question indicating why they are leaving. We capture this information, draw a conclusion, and consider the job done. But was their reason even listed among the choices? If so, did this singular data point really provide a complete understanding of their perceptions and actions? People are complex. We frequently assume customer needs are easily defined, and their responses will directly reflect those needs. This is rarely, if ever, the case. Capturing and interpreting feedback is a subtle, nuanced art. Just try figuring out what your significant other wants or needs. Sometimes it's not just about what they say. When we oversimplify our questioning and over-cleanse response options, it shapes feedback into neat little boxes, but dramatically hinders any useful interpretation of it. The most valuable customer feedback is often qualitative. Yet qualitative data isn't clear. It's inherently vague and untidy. It doesn't deliver black and white insights. It's hard to measure. Surveys, questionnaires, and polls can help you learn about what a customer supposedly thinks at a moment in time. But those tools are not effective at helping you predict their future intent and behaviors because they lack context. Specifically, those circumstances and interrelated conditions that influence their responses. Why bother? So should we even bother asking customers what they think? It's a reasonable question, and some organizations simply don't. A former global chief marketing officer at Cirque du Soleil, Mario D'Amico, once remarked, "How can people tell you what they want if they haven't seen it before? If we ask them what they want, we'll end up doing Swan Lake every year." He makes a great point. Even the most innovative companies know you cannot implicitly trust customers to tell you what your next innovation should be. And no matter what businesses do to strengthen their survey methodologies, sometimes customers may simply put little effort into their responses, or struggle to provide insight beyond a superficial tweak or two. For example, you can ask customers the most important factor in selecting an insurance policy, and they'll provide the standard answers: cost, service, experience, and so on. However, if you ask them what they paid when they last made a claim, or for details about their recent policy experience, they go blank. Having no answer means their survey responses aren't the sole reasons for their decisions. They're just the most mentally convenient ones. And we're all a bit mentally lazy at times.